My name is Billy Fox, and I was the editor on Only the Brave.
I worked this blaze near Montana. In the blink of an eye, just fire everywhere.
My interest in editing started with an interest in film. My mother is a film student and would always expose me to great cinema.
Terrible thing I've ever seen.
My first real job in editing was at a television station. I was merely coming in the middle of the night to record Notre Dame games. They would come in at 2 in the morning and I would set up the tape machines and hit record. But while I was waiting for that, I would take footage from the San Diego Chargers, and I would take music and I would cut little music videos. And this was on 2-inch reel-to-reel tapes, and I had a ball. There was a commercial director that used to come in occasionally and edit his commercials at the television station. He came up to me one night and said, "Would you like to leave the station and come to work with me?" And I went, "Sure." From there, I decided I wanted to go to Los Angeles, so I went freelance and wanting to do drama, wanting to do long form. So I did commercials and music videos, Pee-wee's Playhouse. Slowly but surely, I just kind of did more and more. And then a position became available on Law & Order, and I got to do one episode. That one episode finished, and they never told me to leave. And all of a sudden, the next episode came in, and 9 years later, I eventually left Law & Order. From there, I went to Band of Brothers. And I felt that that was an interesting transition from 1-hour drama to what would be a 10-part miniseries. I did that, and I worked on that for about 18 months. It took another 2 years of knocking on doors and trying to get interviews, and eventually something broke. The Seoul Olympics, Hustle and Flow, Black Snake Moan, straight out of Compton. It's actually from there, it just continued on down the path. In trying to consider what editing system to use next, I had been on Final Cut for many years. And when that product kind of went south a little bit, I went back to Avid, used that, and was frustrated with it. I was given a tour of Premiere, and within that, I was given some nuggets of information of some assets that it does, submixes, continuous playing, color corrector, more advanced than what I was used to. And I kind of came to the conclusion that this is an interesting system. I think it's reached a point, I think it's time I take this a little more seriously. But it still didn't have a shared project. So I had a meeting with varying executives at Adobe and explained my interest in using their system for what was at that time called Granite Mountain. And they said, "Well, we're working on shared project, and you could have it a couple of months into your edit." And they delivered, and it worked great. What I love the most about editing is that process by which you start with a group of raw material, of individual shots, all of this raw footage, and you start to cobble them together and mold them. And at a certain point, after much time and massaging and opening and closing and throwing in alternate takes, there is a magic moment where it's kind of working, you know it's really close, you take one shot and you move it one frame, and the whole scene just vaporizes. And it's no longer a series of shots. It is a looking through the window and watching a real-time scene. And that moment when that happens is just magical. And sometimes it takes days and you just keep pounding on it, and then it happens. That's the magic that completely humbles me every time it happens.